My darlings, hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another book haul. As you may know, I was in Paris. I even have a shirt, not from Paris, but it's in the theme of this video. And of course I bought a lot of books because yeah I have no self-control. I think I'm okay with the books that I have now and I will not buy any more books, but maybe I will buy some more. Yeah, because I have no self-control. It's a little pun here. So, let me show you all the books that I bought in Paris. I'm so excited. The first book that I bought in Paris is The Authenticity Project by Claire Pooley. I've read by her, this one. I've read by her The People on Platform 5 and it's a very good and funny and close to my soul book. And I wanted to read something else by her, so I bought The Authenticity Project. 6 strangers with one thing in common. Their lives aren't always what they make them out to be. What will happen if they told the truth instead? Julian Joseph is tired of hiding the deep loneliness he feels, so he begins the Authenticity Project, a small green notebook containing the truth about his life. Leaving the notebook on a table in his friendly neighborhood cafe, Julian never expects Monica, the owner, to track him down after finding it, or that she'll be inspired to write down her own story. Little do they realize that such small acts of honesty hold the power to impact all those who discover the notebook and change their lives completely. So this is a feel-good book and I think this one will be also a feel-good book and I'm so excited that I'm going to read another book by Claire Pooley. Yay! I think she only wrote 2 books, but I may be mistaken. Have you read any of her books? Because she isn't very popular, but I love this book and I'm pretty sure that I will love this book too. The next book that I bought is Down and Out in Paris and London by George Orwell. I bought it because I was in Paris and it was about Paris and it was, I think this is George Orwell's first book, and if you've watched me for a while, you know that my favorite book of all time is Animal Farm, also by George Orwell. Yeah, bingo. So my favorite book, it's Animal Farm, by one of my favorite books, because I have a ton of favorite books. It's Animal Farm by George Orwell, and I also love 1984. So I love George Orwell, and I've read some of his essays. I want to read more by him, but yeah, I don't have a lot of time, but I bought a new book, so I'm going to read it. So, Down and Out in Paris and London. As a young man struggling to find his voice as a writer, George Orwell left the comfort of home to live in the impoverished working districts of Paris and London. There he documented the chaos and boredom of destitution, the near-constant pains of hunger, and the eccentric cast of characters he lived and worked alongside. So this is a part memoir, part social commentary, and this is his first published work. So he wrote something else, I think, before this book, but so this was like his first published work. And I'm so happy that I bought it, also in Paris. It was a very big shop, but with a very small collection of English books. But somehow I saw this book and I was like, oh, this has Paris on it, I should buy it. And I bought it. I also bought another book by David Nicholls. Don't judge me. I think I want to read all his books, so you will see me holding his books because I want to read them and I will buy them. So this is Sweet Sorrow, I think also his first published book. And this book tells us the story of Charlie Lewis. It's summer 1997 and Charlie Lewis is stuck. School is over, his family is breaking up, his father is falling apart, and the lonely empty holidays stretch ahead towards an uncertain future. And then, quite by chance, Charlie meets Frank Fisher, and it's as if a new world has opened before him. But can it last? 20 years later, Charlie tells the story. I think it's a coming-of-age story, and David Nicholls, I love David Nicholls. I think I will love this book also, because he's one of my favorite authors. So, Sweet Sorrow by David Nicholls. I've also bought another book by Patrick Ness. I think I'm beginning to read a lot of Patrick Ness. I've read what I've read by Patrick Ness. I read more than this by Patrick Ness, and I fell head over heels with this book. I love his writing style. I love his ideas. He's a genius. And I bought also in Warsaw Monster Calls, and I will read that book eventually. And in France, in Paris, I bought The Rest of Us Just Live Here. Just hear the premise of this book. It's amazing. So, not everyone has to be the chosen one. What if you're not an indie kid fighting zombies or whatever this new thing is with the blue lights and the death? What if you're like Mikey, who just wants to graduate before someone blows up the high school? Again, sometimes you just have to discover how even an ordinary life can be extraordinary. This is beautiful. So you just have to discover how even an ordinary life can be extraordinary. It's like I have goosebumps. I don't know if you can see him, but like, who's this man? He's like, I think I will enjoy this book a lot. This book, I think, it will change the way how I look at life. So I've always thought that my life is so ordinary that nothing happens, nothing extraordinary happens in my life. So I think this book will get me discover how even my ordinary life can be extraordinary. And if you've read this book and you liked it, please leave a comment and tell me, is this good as I think it will be, or maybe I am getting just a little bit ahead of myself. Just leave me a comment. I don't know if you know that I know. I don't know if you know, but I love Frederick Backman, and I've read almost all his books, except the second and third one of Beartown. I don't really like that series. Except of that series, I read all his books, and I love him very, very much with all my heart. And I'm trying to find the perfect book that will give me those Frederick Backman vibes. if you know what I mean. Am I weird? Because I do it all the time. If I like a book, I am trying to find, and I like an author and I've read already all his books, I'm trying to find another author that will give me those vibes, so I will be able to read more and more of the same stuff. Yeah, maybe I'm a little bit weird. So this is why I bought this book. So this is The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry, and I bought this book because I thought that this book will be written in the Frederick Backman style. Meet Harold Fry, recently retired. Gives me a bit of A Man Called Ove vibes. He lives in a small English village with his wife Maureen, who seems irritated by almost everything he does. Little differentiates one day from the next. The one morning a letter arrives, addressed to Harold in a scanny scroll from a woman he hasn't heard from in 20 years. Queenie Hennessy is in hospice and is writing to say goodbye. But before Harold mails off a quick reply, a chance encounter convinces him that he absolutely must deliver his message to Queenie in person. In his yachting shoes and light coat, Harold Fry embarks on an urgent quest. Determined to walk 600 miles to the hospice, Harold believes that as long as he walks, Queenie will live. A novel of charm, humor, and profound insight into the thoughts and feelings we all bury deep within our hearts. If this doesn't give you Frederick Backman's vibe, I don't know what will. I have high hopes that I have found a new author. Because Frederick Backman, why don't you write more books? I'm waiting here. I'm not getting any younger, you know? I don't think that he will watch my videos, but a girl can hope. You know, I've read, I think this morning on his Instagram, because of course I follow him, that he is writing a new book called My Friends, I think, and he will publish it next summer, and I'm so excited about this. You don't have idea. I'm just waiting for this book. If you've never read Frederick Backman's books, please go on and read one, because your life will change. I think everyone knows who Marilyn Monroe is, because she was a diva. She was the most, and I think still is, if I'm not wrong, the most sexy woman in the world, the most beautiful woman in the world, and she was also a very smart woman. I'm thinking of doing a video based on her book taste, because she has an amazing taste in books, and she has read a lot of books, like a lot, not kidding. The reason that I bought these books is because Arthur Miller was Marilyn Monroe's husband, and he also was a writer. He wrote a lot of plays in his lifetime, and I've seen this one, and it was at discount. Arthur Miller's classic parable of mass hysteria draws a chilling parallel between the Silent Witch Hunt of 1692, one of the strangest and most awful chapters in human history, and the macrochism which gripped America in the 50s. The story of how the small community of Salem is stirred into madness by superstition, paranoia, and malice, culminating in a violent climax, is a savage attack on the evil of meaningless persecution and the terrifying power of false accusations. I think I've told you this in one of my other videos, that I bought Salem Slot by Stephen King because I thought that this will be a book about Salem and the Salem's witches, but it wasn't, okay? It was about the vampires. And this will be a play about the Salem's witches, and I want to read more about what happened in Salem in those times and find more about the Salem's witches. Of course, this isn't a realistic play. I don't think that it's based on what actually happened there, but I thought it will be an interesting read. I think I will like it very much. And also, I've never read any plays of modern writers, so except Shakespeare basically. I've never read any plays, and I'm very interested to see how a play is written by a modern author. Maybe not a modern, because he lived in the 50s, but closer to our age. I may be a little late to the party with this series. This is Shadow and Bone Trilogy. I know that everyone has read it. Everyone except me. I saw it also at a discount shop. It was €8, I think, for these 3 books, and this is like the greatest price ever, and of course I bought them, and I'm very excited to dive in this trilogy. I've seen the first season of the TV show on Netflix based on the first book, I guess, but I didn't care to watch the second one, so I don't know, I didn't really enjoy it. So I bought the books and I want to see if I will like the books. I know that these books were very criticized by Russian people because she based these books a bit on Russian lore, and people from Russian related didn't really like the details in this book because they weren't very accurate. I don't really care for that. Don't get me wrong. It's okay, you based on something, maybe you could have studied more, yeah, but you did your best, I think. Should I do a vlog of me reading these books? Leave me a comment if you are still interested in that, or you have already seen a lot of vlogs and this will be a bit repetitive. Leave me a comment. I'm very excited that I have these books. And the last book that I bought in Paris, stay tuned because I have a bonus chapter after this. But the last book that I bought in Paris is this one. It's a very big book. It's The Landscape Paintings of New Zealand, A Journey from North to South by Christopher Johnston. It's an art book. I'm a bit into art, a little bit into art. And I was walking in Paris, like walking on the streets, seeing these amazing places, and there was a vendor on the street. He had a lot of books in French, but he had this book in English, and I liked the landscapes, and I don't know anything about New Zealand, so this will be a book for me to learn something about New Zealand. And I like this one because I will see paintings, and maybe someday in the future I will go and I will visit New Zealand. I want to visit it very much. New Zealand is one of the places in a lot of books that I have read that if the world will end, there will be a world in New Zealand because they are so far away that no one will touch them. Not even pandemics, not even wars. In books, New Zealand always stands strong. Yeah, this is why I want to go there, and I'm very happy that I bought this book because it has amazing pictures. I don't think that I have ever seen any New Zealand pictures in museums that I'm going to. I don't think that I've seen something like that. Beautiful pictures. I hope I will read it, not as I'm reading my art in details book, also about art. So very happy about this book. So thank you for staying with me till this moment. I have 3 more books, so 1 from Belgium and 2 from Holland. The one from Belgium is Mrs. P's Journey, the remarkable story of the woman who created the AZ map. So this is a book about the woman who created the first detailed map in London. Spirited, artistic and eccentric Phyllis Purcell became increasingly frustrated at the lack of proper street maps of London. Philip's reaction was completely characteristic, and she threw herself into attempting to map the busy, sprawling metropolis. Without hesitation, she covered London's 23,000 streets on foot during the course of 1 year, often leaving her bedsheet at dawn to do so. In light of its enormous success, she set up the Geographer's Map Company, which still publishes the AZ of London and of most major British cities. So I love a good book with a successful woman and a story about this successful woman, and I think I will enjoy this book very, very much because it's a story about a woman who did a lot. Here is her photo. So yeah, very excited about this book. And the two books that I bought in Holland. The first one is Roald Dahl, Danny, the Champion of the World. I've never read a Roald Dahl's book, and I'm very excited to read one. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was my favorite movie when I was little, so also by Roald Dahl, and I'm very excited to read one of his books. So, Danny thinks his dad is the most marvelous and exciting father a boy could wish for. Life is happy and peaceful in their gypsy caravan, until one day Danny discovers his dad has been breaking the law. What's more, soon Danny has to join his father as they attempt to pull off a daring and devilish plot against horrible red-faced Mr. Victor Hazel. And it has a lot of pictures. And this is Danny and his father. So yeah, very excited to read this one. This is Danny, the Champion of the World by Roald Dahl. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Leave me a comment if I don't. And the second book that I bought in Holland is The First to Die at the End by Silvera. I've read They Both Die at the End. This is the first book, and The First to Die at the End is the second one in the series. When I read this one, there wasn't a series. And I think there is also a third book in the series. No one knows who dies at the end or something like that. So for now I'm gonna read this one. Maybe later I'm gonna read that one. And I've liked They Both Die at the End. You can read it as a standalone. You can read any of these books as standalones. Different people, different premises. You wouldn't lose a lot if you will read one or another first. So in this universe there is a podcast who calls you in the day that you will die. So they just call you and they say that you will die today, basically like this. You don't know the hour, you don't know when you'll die, you don't know the circumstances, you don't know how you will die. You don't know basically anything. You just know that today you will die. If you want to read more queer books, I recommend you to read these ones because they're very good, even if they will break your heart. I mean, okay, I'm recommending you this one because I've read it. I don't know about this one. Maybe I will not like it. This one broke my heart, but it's good, and I like Silvera writing style, and I think I will enjoy this book also. So that's it, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and leave me a comment with the books that you bought recently and you are proud of. You are proud that you have them in your collection. See you next time. Bye!